Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And in this one, I want to talk a little bit more about the Insect Glaive. If you guys caught our recent coverage, you will know that we had a chance to go hands-on with a limited portion of Sunbreak, and during that time, both myself and Soxy Bear tried our very best to play as many weapons as possible. We covered pretty much all of them, and of course you would have seen some of the gameplay we've uploaded. Again, as I've mentioned in previous videos, unfortunately I can only upload so much gameplay, so I can't actually show you anything new, but I do of course have these few little Insect Glaive clips that I'm running in the background that you can of course see a couple of the new moves. And I just want to use this as an opportunity to speak about my impressions having sort of like played with the Insect Glaive, because honestly I am really enjoying it. I liked what they did with Insect Glaive in Rise. It of course had some great damage potential, as of course we discovered over time, especially when it comes to sort of stacking that aerial damage for that sort of meaty Wyvern Dive attack. I really feel like they sort of did a great job of leaning more into the aerial prowess of this weapon, which is something that has always been rather unique to it. And of course in Sunbreak, some of the new moves paired with some of the stuff they showed off in a video this week definitely does make it look like the Insect Glaive is becoming even more powerful. So let's talk about that today. If you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. If you are Insect Glaive fans, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to keep it locked for plenty more Sunbreak news. Again, as a reminder, don't forget there is a live stream next week from Capcom, and that will include some stuff for Sunbreak, so hopefully some more exciting reveals. Anyway, to begin with, Insect Glaive, from my time playing it, honestly had a bunch of fun with it. Again, only got to do one hunt because we only had limited time, and I had to play every single weapon in different hunts, so I only got one exposure to it. But what I will say is the two new Silkbind moves slash sort of switch skills I got to test out played really, really well. The obvious one being the Silkbind attack, which of course is the Awakened Kinsect. This one actually does seem to do some pretty meaty damage. Now of course in these sort of situations, keep in mind I was playing a preview build, numbers may be subject to change. I also didn't get a chance to sit down and actually choose my armor sets or, you know, choose my gems or anything like that. So basically this is just pretty much as I have it out the box. So honestly, I don't really know what my skills are on this. I don't know what I'm running with, not sure what my stats are, but I will say that this still did seem to hit like a truck. Of course, this is the one whereby you throw out the Kinsect and it consumes all of your jellies, and then of course it does hit multiple times, and you know, if you look at it sort of all stacked together, it definitely looks like it has some great burst damage potential. I will say that this is 100% one of those moves that you wanted to get used to. I'm not even ashamed to admit I missed many times trying to record this gameplay. There were many times I would think I would get it and the monster would move, so it should go without saying it's not the kind of thing you will use just on the fly. You definitely want to make sure that this is something that you can reliably land, especially when you consider that it does consume your buffs. But one of the things I do like about it, again, obviously being a ranged attack, it does pull you in straight afterwards, so given the fact that we are using a melee weapon, you will of course be at a slightly greater distance using this. I mean, you can use it right next to the monster, but it is also one of those things you can use sort of reactively and then use to close the distance, thus pulling you back into the optimal range to begin comboing again. So really, really nice. But I will also say the other one that I liked was the new Kinsect slash move. This is simply just another way to move around the sky. Now, of course, the typical one is Advancing Slash, which, you know, is obviously still a very good move. I'll be interested to sort of see if this move, this Kinsect Slash, also still applies the sort of aerial scaling bonus for something like Wyvern Dive. But what I do like about it is the more direct nature. Advancing Slash is a little slower in the air, and of course does take a little longer to sort of get to your location. This one is very direct, but in that regard it is also a little bit more sort of precise, so you do need to get used to it. I would say at first I definitely spent a lot of time whiffing and sort of just like overshooting the monster, but once you do get used to it, it's really nice because of course when you follow up and, you know, in a similar behavior to Advancing Slash, you collide with the monster, you will launch up again, and you can of course stack these multiple times until you finish it, and it actually finishes in a dive. So it is actually quite a sort of nice self-contained move, and I do feel like once you sort of master it, the precise nature of it, allowing you to sort of dart around, is probably going to become a new favorite go-to. Now, of course, outside of that, the other stuff that I didn't get a chance to test out myself, but we did recently find out about, I mentioned this sort of in a video the other day, but I do want to sort of speak about it again because it all ties into the Insect Glaive just becoming even more potent, and that is the new Kinset Bonuses. There were some really cool Kinset Bonuses in Rise already. If you guys are not familiar with them, then of course you can get different Kinsects, and of course they have different stats on them: attack type, Kinset type, power, speed, heal, and also a Kinset bonus. And some of the bonuses included things like heal, dual color, one of my personal favorites, which is of course one of the ones that allowed you to grab 2 colors, it made grabbing those rather pesky colors quite a lot easier, but you then had other things like fast charge or charged chain attack, both of which were very, very cool. However, the new ones do sound very, very nice. The first one, Powder Vortex, of course, collects dust particles within a certain range and cause them to explode. I like this one conceptually because, of course, it, potentially, depending on the damage of the explosion and whether, of course, it's actually valuable, could well be one of those ones that is quite nice at making monsters flinch, but often with these ones they can be a little situational, so personally I'm leaning a lot more towards sort of the boosted powder extract. This is one of the Kinsecs that gathers the 3 types of extracts in the air following assisted attacks. So this one I feel will synergize quite nicely, given that of course you have a lot of aerial prowess, and given that we do have that nice new powerful move that when you use it will consume your triple buff, ideally you're going to want a fast way to gather this. I cannot wait to test this out in game to work out if this is potentially going to become one of the fastest ways to gather the triple buff. If it is, then I feel like those two will synergize incredibly nicely. And of course you also have the Kinsec Charge, which is basically a reverse behavior to the previous one. If you guys used the charged Kinsecs before, you'll remember that while it was on your hand it would charge up, and then when you throw it out it of course does the multi-dive bomb attack. Meanwhile this one works in reverse. It will automatically charge even when it's not with you, and then of course when you attack you can sort of send it out and it will still do that nice dive bomb. So all of those ones in and of themselves are very nice. I mean, the Kinsec Charge was always nice if you paired it with like a blunt type Kinsec, because it could, if done on the head of a monster, actually rack up some KO decently fast. It's not going to become a KO king, it's not going to become your new hammer, but it is definitely still a nice thing. But I do think I've definitely got my eyes on that boosted power extract. I feel like that could be a sleeper hit. But honestly, from my time playing with it, I really, really did enjoy the Insect Glaive. I do feel like once we've mastered the sort of more precise, direct movement of those 2 new moves, I do feel like their ability to close gaps and just get in very quickly is going to make like aerial Insect Glaive play even more viable, even more exciting than before. So honestly, really enjoying the Insect Glaive, really enjoying what they have shown and what I've sort of had a chance to test out so far. So it is looking like the Insect Glaive is becoming even more powerful. Anyway, that's it for the time being. Quick little Insect Glaive discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any more questions. Let me know what you're hoping to see in the stream next week. What are your predictions? And of course, do be sure to keep it locked, because once that news drops, we will bring it to you straight away. If you missed some of our recent videos, you can check out one of these ones on screen. And again, do be sure to keep it locked for plenty more.